Okay, so we're looking at a website that we're trying to evaluate to see whether or not it's trustworthy. And we're going to try and take the steps that I hope my students would take. We're looking at the Pacific Northwest tree octopus. The first step you should really take is looking at the actual site name. As you can see, it's a .net, so pretty much anyone could create this. So what we would hope the students would do is scroll down towards the bottom and find the actual authors. And it says right here two major things. This site has nothing to do with school or education. And the fact that the authors seem to be from the Kelvinic University branch of the Wild Haggis Conservation Society makes me think it's untrue for several reasons. One of them mainly being that I don't know why they would conserve a dish made from meat stuffed into intestine. If we go back up and say we don't trust where the site is or who authored it, we can also look at to the connecting links. They have ZPi here, which if you go there you can see is quite obviously a blog posting, which again is not a good sign. As we go back to the original site, we see that the ads have changed. Now we have an aluminum foil deflector beanie, again making it untrustworthy. But if we actually look at the information on it, like we haven't been warned already, you start to see what could really confuse the students, which is the simple fact that it does appear to be written well. You do have what are quote-unquote science words, cephalopods, using a taxonomic Latin name for the animal, talking about everything that a normal biological study would show. Another issue that might confuse the students is you can see up here they have the endangered species, the reasons for it, and they do use a lot of the same information that actually caused many species to go extinct, namely fashion and being killed for it. But as you scroll down, you see things like using a tentacle ribbon, which is pretty much in the shape of a breast cancer awareness ribbon, which really is in poor taste. Then if you skip down to the bottom where they have links to other conservation organizations, you can see another reason why students might get confused. You do have the Wildlife Fund, the WWF, which is a real thing. But then you also have People for the Ethical Treatment of Pumpkins. So you would hope that your students would read ahead and actually look at all the information rather than what they think just confirms their answers. If we choose to delve even further into it, we can check the other tabs that they have available. For frequently asked questions, you're looking at what type of words you should use and all sorts of wonderful stuff. And then of course, how would I like to donate money? At least this website says you actually have to give it to the tree octopuses, so you can tell this is probably done more in jest. It's not in any way meant to really fool people. If you look at sightings, you get various pictures that have octopus and snow prints. At the very least, you can say whoever made this was very thorough and actually seemed to enjoy making this, which is probably a good thing. If you look at the media, you can scroll through and see the different literature. If you really look at it, most of it is nonfiction, children's stories, that sort of thing. You will note that if you go to the nonfiction and you click on any of those, they will bring you to the actual original author site. So they back up their work with their own work, if you will. The last thing you can see is actually kind of cute. So make a trick-or-treat box for tree octopus to collect their favorite food, and you can even download a free box pattern, which again, if you see up at the top, is made by, again, the author site. Cute little activity for kids. So overall what you can see is a website that was very well done. A lot of effort went into it. The amount of effort put into this website is really quite remarkable, but that's looking at it from an adult perspective. From a student's perspective, it's a very good learning tool as to what might be wrong. They have everything from the .NET for the site, a really random author, multiple connections to a blog, and if they really wanted the cincher, they could look right under Wikipedia, which all of my students are not allowed to look at, as I'm sure many others are not. However, it is very worrisome to think that there are sites out there that are like this, that have so much work put into them to make them look real, and then you have students come along who do not have the skills to really navigate or evaluate websites at this point in their life. The simple fact is that being able to employ the internet is quite a bit different than being able to utilize it effectively, and unfortunately we're seeing more and more students that are able to do the former rather than the latter.